stand, if you're able, to join me in prayer. Father, we come to you once again, delighted and overjoyed that we get to live in a place as beautiful as this, among beautiful people. We ask that you would guide our decisions this evening and everything we do. Keep those who keep us safe, the first responders, our military. All these things we ask in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anybody have any changes to the agenda?
We're going to take off 2 and 3 on unfinished business. Or table them.
Okay. Anything else?
Animal shelter, Kelly,
I'm sorry, what?
number 14, the animal shelter.
Oh, I did speak to Kelly on that, and she wants us to, take that off for tonight. So, 14. Anything else?
Are we doing that thing on 17?
And a motion to approve the agenda as modified.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, does anybody have any corrections or changes to these minutes? Public comment meeting of August 14th, regular meeting August 14th, executive session August 15th, special call meeting August 15th, executive session August 19th, special call August 19th, executive session September 2nd, special call September 2nd, executive session September 16th, or work session September 16th. Corrections or changes?
Good.
Motion that the minutes be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Cindy, you want to give us our financial statement, please?
This is the report for August. Each department should be at 67% of their expenditure budget used. Departments over budget as of August 31st are Superior Court at 72%, Sheriff's Office at 68%, Detention Center at 70%, and Probation at 70%. Overall, we are at 41% of the total revenue budget received and 54% of the total expenditure budget used. Total revenue received to date, $26,411,111. Total expenditures to date, $35,362,766.
Anybody have any questions?
Nope.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Okay. And we have recognition that we want to do tonight. I printed out a big long thing before I left, and it's still in my printer, so I'm gonna wing it. Patrick Ho has been recognized as one of the 25 most influential Asian Americans in the state of Georgia. He is currently the president of the, I believe, the Vietnamese American Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to read the award, and like I say, unfortunately, and I apologize, it's sitting on the printer, I got in a hurry. But basically, it says that before he was 30 years old, he was already influencing and working hard for not just Vietnamese Americans, but all the Asian Americans for equity, economic improvements, and just really has done a good job. I know he's done an incredible job for us here, and we're very proud of him. So would like to thank you for all that you do outside the county, and job well done. Thank you. Yeah, let's go down. Next item is appointment of a member to the short-term rental board. Make a motion that Kris Reece be appointed to that board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And he's here. I just want to say thank you, Kris, for being willing to serve. Jim, hush.
Discussion of possible action to update the Gilmer County Airport capital improvement plan. You want to highlight it for us?
No Tennessee jokes tonight.
Oh, believe me, they're not jokes.
Okay, well, thank you folks for, letting me have an opportunity to report to you. You have, as of yesterday, I gave you a draft. And, after the workshop yesterday, I left that meeting and went to another meeting with Georgia DOT Aviation Programs and our consulting engineer. And the capital improvement plan, which we are required to do to maintain our eligibility for grants at the airport, you have before you. Now, I want to emphasize that there is no obligation by adopting this plan, but it indicates to the FAA and Georgia DOT that Gilmer County is involved constantly in the planning process for our general aviation airport. And the CIP that you would adopt tonight is for 27 through 31. As you can see, there is a total of almost $8 million planned or projected through those 5 years of total cost, with only a local cost of $525,000. And part of that local cost can also be what is called force account, or if we have the forces to be able to do something, then that's a possibility as well. But this is a prerequisite to the process that we're about to start, and that is a 5-year advertisement for our consulting engineer. clerk is not gonna be happy about this, but we actually have to do 2 advertisements now. The rules have changed in 5 years, where we now have to advertise for an engineer for planning, and programming, and then an engineer for actual construction, design, and things like that. Now, it can be the same engineer, but we have to do 2 separate advertisements. Whereas in the past, we were able to just lump it all into one and do it one time. We got to do 2.
So what do you need from us tonight, Jim?
What I need for the Board of Commissioners to do is to adopt the 5-year capital improvement plan for the Gilmer County Airport. And Mr. Chairman, you have to sign it too.
Y'all okay with it, Jim?
So move and authorize the chairman to sign.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, from here, we're gonna look at a few, rezoning requests. Before we do though, I just, one more time, I think it's incredible that we've got Patrick Ho as one of the 25 most influential in this Asian Americans in the state of Georgia. That's amazing, and, good job.
It's sinking in.
Okay, we have several rezoning requests. What I'm going to propose, if I can find the right sheet of paper here, is request number 1 through 4 be approved, and number 7 through 9 be approved at this time.
Is that a motion? Is that a motion?
That's motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I will then make a motion that number 5 and 6 be denied.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And finally, we'll make a motion that number 10 and 11 be approved with the stipulation that the spring that's on the property cannot be disturbed and must be left in its original path and flow.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That will bring us to the request of approval of the application of Lloyd Clark at Atlas Vineyard for an alcoholic beverage license. I believe everything is in order for that, Karen?
Yes.
So I make a motion that be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Brings us to citizens wishing to speak. Anybody that would like to speak on any topic, just come to the podium and state your name.
Good evening. I'm Kevin Painter with Kevin Painter Insurance. We just recently built a brand new office over here in East LJ. Many of you may have seen that on 4 lane. And we have our main office in Blue Ridge. I'm here tonight just to propose a community service project that we've had in Fannin County for about 20 years. You can see these blue 911 signs, and I know I'll give y'all a flyer about those. This was started by a gentleman, Darryl Mann, a realtor up there in Blue Ridge about 24 years ago. And then he fell ill and asked, I had already told him that I would like to take that project over if he ever ceased doing it. I've been a firefighter and EMT in Fannin for 36 years as a volunteer up there. And so, being that we have a bigger presence in Gilmer County now, would like to do this program down here in Gilmer. It's been so warm. It's been so welcoming up there as a volunteer firefighter, as an EMT, all your public service people, even your Amazon and Kris, I know the short-term rental folks love it. We do a bunch down here already for some of the short-term rental companies already. But simply, all we're asking for from the commissioners, Fannin County has got that put in a driveway ordinance that it has to be marked. It doesn't have to say they get it from us, and that's not what we're saying. But we do these, my son, who happens to be here, he's, since he was 11 or 12 years old, he's been helping me make these. We physically make them ourselves. We become a vendor of Gilmer County if approved, and we buy these plates through the Georgia Department of Corrections. Then we assemble them ourselves. I get the poles from Tractor Supply over here in East LJ and put those together. And our cost is about $19 once we do them. We sell them for $25. They'll be able to pick them up in our office. And then that whole $6 that we make, we donate 100% of all the profits back to the fire EMS. I would like to do it here in Gilmer to the fire EMS. We do East LJ, fire EMS, and doing that. And that will, you know, we probably give back about $3,000 to $6,000 a year in Fannin County. We've been doing it, like I said, for 20. So anybody that's drove through Fannin, and some down here will see it. So I'll be happy to ask any questions. I know I was on the agenda for November, but we wanted to speed this up just a little bit in case. These make great Christmas gifts. So if we wait till November, when you got those things you can't buy for anyone else, these are great, and it helps everyone in the community. And we're just, you know, we're been in Gilmer for a while, but we want to be a bigger part and just do that as a community service project.
And I think really all you need from us at this point is just to endorse the project or say we're okay with it.
That's right, yeah. It works so much better when we have an endorsement of y'all to do it. And like I said, we're not even, no one wants to go out and make these, put the labor into doing them. But it's such a good project, we'd like to do that and help.
Is this simply a driveway marker?
It is.
So
It is.
just the number of the road on the driveway?
That's right, that's all that is. Yeah, and if you see, I mean, you drive around through Fannin, you'll see these, they're just, as a firefighter in the middle of the night, you have a police, when I come through a little while ago, your sheriff's deputy down there was so excited to see that we're considered doing.
How about three to keep the rental people from driving in my driveway?
Well, there you go. Oh, it helps immensely. And these are good quality. I mean, we get them through, you know, they come through the Department of Corrections. Some of our good incarcerated citizens get to make the plates, and then we put the numbers, the reflected numbers, and then put the poles and everything on. So,
You have ordered for them?
we will be posting them. We have them online on our insurance AC, and you can pick them up in our office, but we'll be happy. You call my office, we'll get you one.
Can we get those in purple down here?
Purple, well, purple. I'll do them in any color but orange. That's all I can say.
Wait a minute now. If you get them in orange, you gotta put some blue with it though. Blue and orange.
For handicap?
Auburn.
I swear, wow, okay. But, any questions or anything to ask for?
No.
We
Thank you
can't,
for bringing it.
we can't take action on this, it wasn't on the agenda, but I'm always.
It's supposed to be on the agenda.
No, it's on.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, it's on next month's
It was
agenda.
on, and that's why I've
That's
come
right.
and
We'll
go
be-
comment, just to bring
We'll
it
be
so we
taking
give them a
action
head start.
Next month, so.
Okay. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, I knew it was on the agenda, but it wasn't this one. Okay. Yes.
Good evening, Lloyd Clark at 100 River Hill Road, LJ. I noticed something on the agenda, you may not be ready to talk about it, but was talking about the amendment, about the farm wining ordinances. I don't know if you're gonna talk about.
Is this the one for the Sunday beer sales?
I'm not sure what it was, I just.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But I
That's-
just wanna make a comment if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
Is that, when I went through with, Karen and Jim and worked through some of the stuff we had to do recently, there's some snags that are in the ordinances, and it's not deliberate. I think it's just, when the county divided farm winery and tasting rooms out, that created some challenges, and I'm thankful for Jim and Karen to help me work through that. But it caused us some delays. So I just wanna come up here and say, I'm willing to volunteer my time to work with you all. If we have to do a scrub and look at that, I can do it through the lens of the county, and as a winery owner as well, in my profession, I can remain unbiased on things, but I think there needs to be a good look at the ordinances on that and what we can do. There's a farm winery, you know, as far as the farm winery goes, is alcohol sales on Sunday. People are scratching their heads on that, whether it requires a referendum, you know, for a vote and so on. And, the other thing is the application process that I went through caused some delays, and I think there's room for improvement there. So however I can volunteer my time to help you, I'm more than willing to do that.
as somebody who has gone through the process and seen it firsthand, would you be willing to just go ahead and make a list of the things that need to be changed and your recommendations, and that would be a starting point for us?
On that experience, yes, but I think at some point, because the county's growing, the farm lands are growing, there's dynamics we have to work through. I think there's a time that we may want to pull and look at some of these ordinances.
And you don't have to limit it to your experience. I mean, anything, I want to hear about your experience, but anything that you feel like needs to be modified or changed or whatever, throw it in there and we can discuss it and see.
And was that topic for the beer sales on Sunday, was that what that was, what
Yes,
we're
sir.
talking about right now?
Oh,
Okay.
Not until we get to the,
Oh, I thought it was, yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's
We
been
removed
gone.
it,
oh, we removed it, I'm
but
sorry.
Yeah, I
it
think
does have,
that's
Yeah.
fine.
it does have.
But you can make any comments you want to about it here.
Why can't we do it? The other counties do. I mean, but I understand there may be a need for a referendum, and I think we just need to make sure the winery owners understand why. It's not just an issue of, we don't wanna approve it, it's an issue that has to go to vote. And I think there's some misunderstandings out there.
Yeah.
And put it to vote. I mean, if it gets voted down, it gets voted down.
It's too late to do it on the November coming up, so we're looking at
I think
May.
it should go on there, and,
It's too late.
Oh, it's
The
like
problem is it's too late to get it on there.
all right, well,
On that ballot.
when would be the soonest?
May.
Oh, cool, we don't open up till June. So. But anyways, I think there's room for improvement, and I will volunteer my time for anything you need on those words.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Hi, Kimberly Breckness, a concerned Gilmer County citizen. I wanted to talk a little bit about data centers, since that's the topic of discussion this evening. I think this board is correct to stay ahead of a data center nuisance potential. Anybody who's been paying attention realizes that data centers and crypto mining facilities are very interchangeable, as they are basically energy producers. So when a crypto mining facility closes down, they might sell it to a data center or vice versa, because they are that interchangeable. I'm afraid that if we do not move forward, if you all do not move forward with this data center restriction, that might be a backdoor later down the line. So I commend you for staying ahead of that. But I wanted to just ask if I can make a request to this board that would maybe fix some of the problems with requests for records that you all are facing. You really need a citizens portal where we citizens, rather than bothering Edwina, can access a citizen portal where we can see budgets, where we can see resolutions, amendments, and other things like that. Maybe applications for rezonings and what that project might entail. It sure would answer a lot of questions for us as the public without bothering your clerk. So that's something that I've asked for a number of years now. And I know that there's been a lot more things that have been pressing, but I think it's time that we make that move. The board decides to make that move, and we'll move towards that. There was a time when during the joint comprehensive plan process that was a very, very significant action taken by this county. And it was not available to the citizens until the night before it was being adopted. So those of us who wanted to know what was being voted on that very next day had to scramble and read through 140 some odd pages and digest all of that, so that we could, as citizens, make stand in support of, or maybe make a recommendation against, or maybe include some input. As it turned out, there was a lot of big changes that were made, and land use ordinances and zoning changes that were very big and impactful for this county that citizens had no idea until after it was done, and then it was just like, well, it's done, sue us. But nobody wants to be litigious here unnecessarily. I think it would be much easier if you just provide the citizens of Gilmer County with a portal where we can access that. Now, it's not unusual for that to exist. If you look at Milton, if you look at Roswell, if you look at Camden, if you look at Pickens County even, they have one of those available. Citizens are not complaining down there about access to information. In fact, you might see a lot more citizen involvement and activity down in Pickens County. I suggest that the reason why is that the information is made available to citizens. So that's my 2 cents, but I will say that items 18, 19, 20, and 22 on tonight's agenda are information that the citizens do not have access to. So you're having discussions and making possible action on ordinances and items that we have not seen, unless we have been to a meeting. And I like to consider myself one of the most informed citizens of Gilmer County, because I make it a point to stay involved and informed, but I can tell you that I have no idea what any of those, the content of any of those. And what I would have to do at this point is contact Edwina tomorrow and request from her, can you send me over the capital improvement plan? Can you send me over the Trees Act? Can you send me over? So this becomes a burden on her unnecessarily, and I think it's something you all can resolve very easily by creating a portal. Thank you.
Well, your timing is good, since we're about to go into the 26 budgeting, so, I think, and I like the idea of it. And I'm fine with putting it into the 26 budget. It'll still have to survive the budget process, but yeah, I would be fine with going ahead and add to the budget for consideration.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Wilson, my wife and I are new to Gilmer County. We come from Bartow County. We're just building a farm. We just adopted something for our new property and everything. But I do want to just mention something about data centers. So we border a 2,000-acre data center in Bartow County. We have 147 acres. They came in, they had everything planned in advance, 8 years in advance, governor's approval. Do what you want to do. The biggest thing I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna speak in favor or against them, but the biggest thing, please explain to the citizens what happens when they move in. Because when they're done with their property, they rezoned in Bartow County, they zoned it technology park. So when they leave, they can use the property for anything they want without coming back to the citizens or for voting. They're getting it all in advance. Now, I don't know how Gilmer County does it, I just wanna speak about it. They border us for 1.5 miles. They needed our property. They want to use eminent domain against us. Come to find out, they had a commissioner that sold us our property, so they already had intimate knowledge, so they couldn't use eminent domain. But they forced the issue because they got close to a federally protected creek and needed our property, so we had to sell out. So we left, we came to Gilmer County. We're here now, we will be here. We're gonna make sure no data center will be beside us. We border the national forest on north and west borders, so we don't have to deal with it again. But just please explain to the citizens so they do understand these are some powerful corporations. So the zoning is absolutely critical and everybody needs to understand that. So.
I don't think we could say it to them any better than you just have, but I agree with you.
Yeah, we got intimate with this big corporation. This will be the largest data center in the South. And it's 2,000 acres, and they leveled every mountain and filled every valley. $50 billion. Just for 200 acres, it was $1 billion just to level the mountain. So money's no expense to these guys.
Well, I have managed a few data centers in my time, and so I'm familiar with the downside to them. I didn't think of it as a downside at the time,
Right.
but from my perspective now, I certainly would.
Yeah,
So
I know they're
understand what you're
necessary in
saying.
some ways, but just people had a hard time understanding
Yeah.
because it moves so fast.
Well, and it's a different thing too, when it's in a rural county, so to speak, as opposed to being on the 14th floor of a skyscraper in the middle of downtown Atlanta.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Okay, well, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you for your words.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Anybody else? If not, the next thing on the agenda is the data center. Discussion and possible action on adding data center restrictions on crypto mining ordinance. David, I believe if we wanted to go forward with that, what we would have to do now would just be to authorize the advertising. We all okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Then I would make a motion that we go ahead and authorize advertising to make that change to the crypto mining ordinance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll see that change, David, before.
Yes, yes, you will. It'll only be a destination change, this direction's destination change. Remember that ordinance provides that absolutely bans everything in
Right.
the state. Determined later on that we can't prohibit it, and that's what we did. But I'll include that definition of, crypto mining, I'll include that.
Okay, good. 14, I believe, yes, may we? Resolution to transmit the 25-26 annual update of the capital improvements element for Gilmer County and Cities of LJ and East LJ for review. We've each already approved our own, resolution. We just need to, authorize to transmit it.
So moved.
Okay, second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
I'm looking at you like, all in favor, Charlie? Okay.
Okay.
Before we get to this one, it's somebody talking.
Yes. Okay, appointment of a member to the Tax Assessor Board. We have spoken to Mark Pauline about that. He is willing to do it. He understands that there's classes involved and that you have to pass the test to say, and he's okay with all that. So I would make a motion that Mark Pauline be appointed as a member of the Tax Assessor Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion and possible action on the abandonment of a portion of Laurel Drive, Poindexter Drive, Twin Branches Road, and C. Lloyd Drive. Tax parcels 1066P 003, 1066P 004, and a portion of 1066F 003. David, if you'll enlighten us on that, please.
That's just that's a road that was deeded to the county probably back in 1964, 65, I believe. And, the county's never officially ever worked that road. It's probably overgrown. I haven't actually seen it. And, it's, not of any impact to the county road system, and, property lies within the city of LJ. So, y'all are just simply be abandoning that to the property, adjoining property owners at some point.
Okay. Okay, then. Motion to approve that abandonment of those roads.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, and what we'll do is that's to commence the process, start the process.
I'll modify my motion to commence the process then. So, you guys good with that?
Yes.
All right, discussion possible action on the parking on public right-of-way ordinance. Okay, David, I'm gonna go back to you for this one as well, for all these probably.
Yeah, there are two action items here, 18 and 19, and, the first one establishes, the right or not right of the public to park in the right of way along what we'll call in term major arterial collector type roads. And the second action item will actually identify those roads by name, so that, then if somebody is parked in the right of way alongside the side of the road, the sheriff will then have the authority to have that vehicle either towed or issue a fine or citation, but they will be able to take action in some respect to ensure that that right of way is clear and there's no obstruction, no hazard posed to the passing traffic.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion for number 18, that be approved.
Both of them are to start the advertisement.
To start the advertisement, yes, okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And also on number 19, to start the advertisement on that as well.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Discussion and possible action on amendments to the land use ordinance.
That one should have been tabled as well.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. That one should have been tabled.
Y'all okay with it? Yes. Discussion and possible action on the benefits renewal. Patrick, you wanna give us an overview right quick?
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman and the Board of Commissioners. Thank you earlier for the very kind word and recognition. I greatly appreciate that. Just a quick synopsis on our conversation yesterday regarding our benefits renewal for the county. The high-level overview of the 10,000 feet view is that for our medical renewal, we are looking at a single-digit renewal, which is a 5%. Regarding our other ancillary plans as well, we're looking at dental, which is at a 0 flat rate percentage. Vision is going to be at a 0 flat rate percentage renewal as well. Looking at all of our ancillary changes, there are going to be no changes or increases for Gilmer County government for 2026. Regarding back to our benefits, just a little bit more detail for the Board of Commissioners is that dental, we had an initial renewal at 7%. We negotiated with them for a flat rate renewal at 0, which equates to a savings for the county of $12,694.08. For vision, we did the same as well regarding negotiations, released at 6%. We negotiated that down to 0, which equates to $1,496.16. And regarding the medical increase of 5% to the county, that equates to $307,475.64. However, that is without the county's ratio split with employees and employer contributions of the 86-14 that we have already in place. So in total, that the county will be looking at for next year is $263,291.
And remind us where that started before the negotiations were?
Yes, sir. Prior to that, Cigna released the renewal amount at 14% and 13%, so we have about $700,000 of savings this year.
Excellent.
I'm just looking for the Board of Commissioners to approve, to review and approve this for open enrollment as we start in the next 2 months.
And no cuts to services or anything like that?
Yes, sir.
All the same stuff?
That is correct. The 5% renewal was without dissolving or watering down our current plan. We kept it the same for employees.
So moved.
Patrick, you get an award for that too.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Did you second?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And you're right, he does. Discussion and possible action of House Bill 223, the Trees Act. This is the one where we can opt in to not doing the tax. I'm trying to think which tax it was now. It's on the tree harvesting.
Yeah, it's timber harvesting.
Yeah. It's going to cost the county money to do that, but we will be reimbursed by the state with this House Bill 223. So, but we do have to opt in, and so I would make a motion that we do opt into that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion and possible action on the appointment of a selection committee to assist with the evaluations for the airport consulting engineering services. Jim, I believe that's going to be you and Karen, and who is the third person? Teresa Gooch. Did you have anything you wanted to say on
No.
it? Okay, we need to mark that at some point that Jim didn't have anything to say.
Well, it is a process that we have to go through, that selection committee, again, as I said yesterday, previous to this, we had an airport advisory board that served in that role. That board no longer exists, so we have to, or you have to, appoint a committee of at least 3 to review the proposals and make recommendations.
Okay, well, I would make a motion that we appoint Jim Smith, Karen Hanson, and Teresa Gooch to that committee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion and possible action on administrative changes to the short-term rental ordinance. We've got a couple of things to discuss on that. The first is to move the short-term rental department as it is out of planning and zoning and make it a standalone. David, I guess we just need to vote to start that process.
Actually, if y'all, we'll probably do is put it on the agenda for the next meeting and just change the organizational chart. And then, the second part of this is to adopt the new revised, or the bylaws. But it went and just texted me and she's having a panic attack over there because we skipped number 23. And the 23 was very critical to her. Remember, this is the one she went on and put on the county website. She.
Well, when did you stop just hollering at me and interrupting?
I was trying to be nice, okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't I'm sorry, you were trying to be nice, but I didn't recognize it because I don't even see it, but I'm not used to it. We'll go back to 23. If it's any consolation, I checked it off. All right.
So the organizational chart can be changed at the next agenda. I think what needs to occur under this action item tonight would be the adoption of the bylaws that have been provided to the board.
What I'm asking about though is the short-term rental ordinance itself. Doesn't it specify that it's under planning and zoning?
We'll go ahead and begin that process.
So we'll have to,
It'll be an advertisement and followed by first reader, second reader. And I think, I may be mistaken, Mary can address it either tonight or a later point, but there may be a few minor tweaks there in that ordinance as well.
Yeah.
Nothing of any significance or consequence.
so tonight, we need to vote to begin the advertisement for that. And we can change the org chart without a referendum, but, without a resolution. But,
No, you'll need a resolution next month for that, to adopt that, because that's been the historical approach, is to adopt it at the beginning of the calendar year.
Okay.
What, tonight, if you will, go ahead and authorize the commencement of the changes, the advertisement, and to the adoption of those bylaws for that,
Okay.
board. They'll be meeting October the 1st, I believe. So it'll be two
so,
items here.
so moved on those. Second. All in favor? Aye. Now, there's one other thing too that I need to bring up. And Mary may want to weigh in on this, but she would like to have a moratorium on accepting new short-term rental host licensing applications between now and the first of the year. And the reason for that is so that she will have the time and the space to get all the processes in order and squared away, because we're still having issues with some of these processes.
Would we not need to take that up in October? That wasn't on the agenda.
Right.
Well, I was thinking that it would be covered under administrative changes to short-term rental ordinance, but I don't have a problem taking that up in October.
I don't think we need to.
Okay. All right, so would you put that on the agenda then? All right, that will then bring us to item 23, discussion and possible action on the designation of procedures for handling permanent records requests. I like the idea of the portal, but it will have to survive the budget process, and I do believe that can help limit some of this, but that's not really, having said that, that's not what this is about. So, what would you think would be a good solution? Because I don't think we came up with a good solution the other day.
To put a person in each department to be responsible for whatever that records request is, because I can't get no more web records or sheriff's records, I don't have access to the zoning.
We don't need a resolution.
We can't hear.
Actually, Charlie, she's already taken action on this. She's put it on the website, and it tells you how to handle it. I
Well,
mean,
why are you even asking me about it?
Asking you to approve what I did.
But
we don't
what
need to-
she's done, y'all should bless it, and go ahead and move forward. The portal will be good with respect to resolutions, perhaps, other items, minutes of the meetings and things of that nature, but there are certain information that's contained within certain records that are produced that would not be able to be disclosed, so they're all records, there wouldn't be an open portal to everything, so.
But then those things that couldn't be disclosed on that portal are also, would they not be things that we couldn't disclose on
Well,
the record request?
Well, you can disclose portions of the records, you not necessarily be able to, hold the record.
So we'd have to redact them if we put them on the
Yeah,
portal.
which would require a set of eyes to look at it
Yeah.
and ensure that nothing.
The portal's gonna be, I don't know how far back we're talking, but the portal's gonna be a lot of work.
I would encourage you to probably start the portal with the day that you adopt it, have it ready and go in place. And again, I've seen it, agendas, of course, minutes of the meetings and, resolutions. We'd have to look at some of the other items that might be suggested to be on closing the portal, and if it fits that criteria and can be, then absolutely. If not, or if it needs a set of eyes to look at it before it's released, then, of course, it'd have to go through the standard open record request.
Okay.
But I think what she's already done will help reduce her responsibilities and will transfer it to those respective departments and or elected officials.
I make a motion, we endorse.
I don't think we really have much of a choice here.
It doesn't seem like it, does it? Okay, motion that we make the department heads responsible for responding to open record requests.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would have voted no. But I'll say aye.
Are you coming to work tomorrow?
Oh, I got to put it on.
Okay. So
I have a day's worth of grace here before I hear about it.
My experience with Edwin is the more time you give her to think about it, the more ruthless it becomes when you hear and or call her back.
Well, my experience with Edwin, and she's gonna hit me up with whatever she's gonna hit me up with, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. Okay, so then with that, assuming that I haven't left anything else out, does anybody have a need for executive session?
Yes, no action, real estate.
And what topic?
Real estate.
Real estate, okay. Motion to go into executive section for real estate with no action anticipated.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, folks.
Chris, did you
Appreciate
meet
it.
Mary? She's right there. Thank you both. Thank you all for being here.
Bye, Patrick.